Hare Krishna. Welcome to the Bhagavatam class. Today is Tuesday, 9th February 2016. We start with our prayers. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudiraye nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya Bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 12, Sloka number 28. Vacham duhitaram tanvim Swayambhur
Swayambhurharati manaha
Akamam chakamekshattaha
Akamam chakamekshattaha
Sakama itina shrutam
Sakama itina shrutam
Vacham duhitaram tanvim
Vacham taram tanvim
Swayambhurharati
Swayambhurharati manaha
Akamam chakamekshattaha
Akamam chakamekshattaha
Sakama itina shrutam
Sakama itina shrutam.
Sita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Vacham duhitaram tanvim
Vacham duhitaram tanvim
Swayambhurharati manaha
Swayambhurmanatim
manaha
Kamam chakamekshattaha
Akamam chakamekshattaha
Sakama iti nashrutam.
Sakama itina shrutam. Kamalini Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Vacham duhitaram tanvim
Vacham duhitaram tanvim
Swayambhurharati manaha
Swayambhurharati manaha
Akamam chakamekshattaha
Kamam chakamekshattaha
Sakama itina shrutam.
Sakama itina shrutam. Premavardhini Mataji.
Vacham duhitaram tanvim
Vacham duhitaram tanvim
Swayambhurharatim manaha
Bhurharatim manaha
Akamam chakamekshattaha
Akamam chakamekshattaha
iti na srutam.
Sakama
itina shrutam.
Prabhuji, Shama Madhavi Mataji is there.
Okay, now she can chant the pranam mantras. Vacham,
Vacham,
Vacham.
vak,
walk,
Vak.
duhitaram,
duhitaram,
unto the daughter,
unto the daughter,
tanvim,
Tanveen,
born of his body,
born of his body,
swayambhu,
Swayambhuhu,
Brahma,
Brahma,
Brahma.
haratim,
Haratim, Haratim,
attracting,
attracting,
manaha,
Manaha,
Mana.
his mind,
his mind,
akamam,
Akamam,
without being sexually inclined,
without being sexually inclined,
chakame,
Chakame,
desired,
desire,
kshattaha,
Kshattaha,
o vidura,
O Vidura,
sakamaha,
Sakamaha,
being sexually inclined,
being sexually inclined,
iti,
Iti,
thus,
thus,
naha,
Naha,
we,
we,
shrutam,
Shrutam,
have heard.
have heard.
O Vidura, we have heard that Brahma had a daughter named Vak, who was born from his body and who attracted his mind towards sex, although she was not sexually inclined towards him. Balavan Indriya Gramo Vidvamsam Api Karshati, Bhagavatam 9.19.17. It is said that the senses are so mad and strong that they can bewilder even the most sensible and learned man. Therefore, it is advised that one should not indulge in living alone, even with one's mother, sister, or daughter. Vidvamsam api karshati means that even the most learned also become victims of the sensuous urge. Maitreya hesitated to state this anomaly on the part of Brahma, who was sexually inclined to his own daughter. But still he mentioned it because sometimes it so happens, and the living example is Brahma himself, although he is the primeval living being and the most learned within the whole universe. If Brahma could be a victim of the sexual urge, then what of others who are prone to so many mundane frailties? This extraordinary immortality on the part of Brahma was heard to have occurred in some particular kalpa, but it could not have happened in the kalpa in which Brahmas heard directly from the Lord the four essential verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, because the Lord blessed Brahma after giving him lessons from the Bhagavatam that he would never be bewildered in any kalpa whatsoever. This indicates that before the hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam, he might have fallen a victim to such sensuality. But after hearing Srimad Bhagavatam directly from the Lord, there was no possibility of such failures. One should, however, take serious note of this incident. The human being is a social animal, and his unrestricted mixing with the fair sex leads to downfall. Such social freedom of man and woman, especially among the younger section, is certainly a great stumbling block on the path of spiritual progress. Material bondage is due only to sexual bondage. And therefore, unrestricted association of man and woman is surely a great impediment. Maitreya cited this example on the part of Brahma just to bring to our notice this great danger. Sita Mataji, you can chant, please.
ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने सरस्वती नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा
Krishna 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 Hare Hare Hare
हरे
Rama 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 Hare Hare
हरे
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Jai Pataka Swaminiti Namine Namah Acharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayane Gaura Katha Dhamadaya Nagara Grama Tarine. Shama Madhvi Mataji, you can chant the shloka, please.
वाचं दुहितरं तन्वीं स्वयंभूर्हरितिं मनः अकामं च कमेक्षतः सकाम इति न श्रुतम्।
So this is a very, very sad incident. Maitreya Rishi is talking about this incident. As Srila Prabhupada says in this comment, just to caution us. And this happened in some previous kalpa. Brahma is a position. So we should not get disturbed by that, that every Brahma is like that. No, it's just a position. Some particular personality who was appointed as Brahma, he had this, of course this is just a thought, but still, even that is a huge pollution. And in the previous yugas, even a thought could be an offense. In Kali Yuga, blaspheming somebody in just your thought is forgiven by the Lord. I mean, the punishment is not as harsh as in the previous yugas. Otherwise, we will all be in trouble. We curse people, we say so many things, we blaspheme also. But in actual practice, if we do that, then that is punishable. So in Kali Yuga, this facility has been given because Krishna knows that the people will be so degraded. Now this happened in the previous kalpa of a particular Brahma. Now you can see in Kali Yuga, the progress of Kali Yuga can be seen every day in the paper or the news or the internet or whatever you are seeing. You'll come across more and more instances of the fathers misbehaving with the daughters, for some fathers for years together, raping and sexually assaulting their own daughters. And of course, if the person is read the Bhagavatam, he may say, oh, see, Brahmaji did that. So what's wrong? Like in one of the chief ministers, when I was in Bangalore running my industry, I was also secretary, etc., of the president industries association. So we used to meet all these politicians for some of the work. Some certain things required for the industries, and we'll go as a delegation and meet. So we went to meet one chief minister. Of course, it's an old story, 1970s. And that fellow was so drunk previous night that even at 11 o'clock, he was not awake. We were waiting, and then finally his secretary said, "Sir, you need not wait," because then he told the truth. We asked him, "What happened? Is he not well or something?" He said, "No, yesterday he went for some party, and he had too many drinks." And that same chief minister announced in the newspaper, some press conference or something. And somebody asked him, he said, "So what? Even Lord Krishna had so many girlfriends, and he was having Soma Rasa, and like." So people always use some excuses like this. So as devotees, it's very important for us to behave, be very, very careful while dealing with people in public especially. Because one wrong statement by us, one wrong behavior by somebody, some devotee, can create big problems. It can give a very, very wrong message. And then people use that only, they don't see all the good being done. Just one, because one small mistake and then you are ruined. Because people look towards devotees as something special, like they expect. Like one time, one devotee was telling in Bangalore, to the vice president, he says, "Sir, why did you become so angry? I saw you at the gas station, petrol pump, and I saw you shouting at that man." And this Prabhu was explaining, he says, "Do you know why I was shouting? Because this man was cheating. I was getting the petrol filled, and instead of some 20 liters, he just put only 7 liters and then claimed that he's put 20 liters. So he says, this is Krishna's money. This vehicle belongs to Krishna. I'm just using it for, buying some stuff for Krishna, and then I can't tolerate. So I'm angry. I had to tell him that he should not do this cheating." So some places it is justified, when you are doing it for Krishna. But otherwise, we have to be very, very, very careful. Especially when it comes to dealing with the Matajis. And the vice versa, Matajis dealing with Prabhus. Both can bring a bad name. And this, of course, is, very, very strange. And that's why sometimes, when Bhrigu was asked to find out who is the Supreme, this was one reason he rejected Brahmaji, because he said this fellow was passionate towards his own daughter, like. So, and then Prabhupada explains that that could not be this Brahma, because this Brahma has heard from the Lord himself, directly from the Lord Srimad Bhagavatam. And if you are hearing Bhagavatam, then chances are that you will not misuse the teachings of Bhagavatam. And we are seeing every day, when how many times we get a feeling that Bhagavatam is teaching us something wrong, is asking us to indulge into all these sexual activities and passionate activities full of passion. It just doesn't. So that is why it is very important, before going to bed or early morning, to read something of Bhagavatam. It just strengthens us. So another great lesson, I always say that Bhagavatam keeps giving us some good lessons one after other. So this is another lesson that we have to be very, very careful. Okay. So thank you very much. If you have any comment, question, you can go ahead and ask. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yeah, it's very, very true, Prabhuji. Every day, every sloka teaches us some lesson.
Yes.
This one, purport, Prabhupada has explained so clearly, so well, how things go wrong and what we should be careful about.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And also, as you said, everybody looks at devotees with hawk's eye. They
Yes.
just want to find fault. So we have to be all the more careful about our deeds.
Simple little things. Just to give an example. I mean, I used to go to the temple when I was in Bangalore every day in the morning, for my japa. And all the devotees would be sitting and, make a circle with the president. And they will be all chanting nicely, very, very good call. Because if you are chanting in association, it becomes even stronger. But then, the president had a, stuffed doll. He just used to keep in front of him, and then he will watch. If somebody is not concentrating or somebody is, going into a slumber or something, he'll just pick the doll and throw. Idea was to wake him up. But sometimes some local people going for a morning walk, they come to the temple, and once I remember somebody came, and when he came, he saw president throwing this doll, and I noticed that man was shocked, like I thought, and I mean his expression was, I thought this is a temple, these are all devotees, and they're all playing in the morning, with dolls. They're like throwing dolls. He doesn't know the background, why it is and all that. So of course I did not say, I took him aside and I explained to him what is happening there. And then I told President, Prabhu, this is what I saw, and so I would request you that please don't use that, You can have some other technique, but throwing dolls is not a good idea. In fact, the doll should not be there while we are chanting. And of course, luckily he agreed, otherwise he would have said, oh, I am the president, who are you to tell me? He just agreed and he says, okay, I'm sorry, And good, he says, you told us, so that. So people are looking at us. People are looking at us, especially because we claim that we have become different. We have claimed that we have been transformed, we are not doing this and we are not doing that. And so people want to see whether some weak link is available, so that, hey, look at that person, Like somebody said, I saw one Swamiji eating dosa in a restaurant, Now, the whole organization name goes down, because what is this? Of course, that when Swamiji was asked, he says, no, somebody invited me and, I wanted to make them devotees, so I wanted to show them that we are non-different, etc. And of course, I said, still, Maharaj, the message which went out was very, very wrong. So then immediately said, yeah, we should be careful. Because of course he was a young sannyasi, not a senior. But still. So yeah, it's very important.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.